And overseas now, Israel is pounding Gaza with airstrikes in retaliation for Saturday's surprise attack by Hamas. One neighborhood has more than 100 strikes so far. At last count, 900 people are dead and more than 4,500 are wounded in Gaza. Israel says it's lost more than 1,000 of its citizens.
So with losses like that, the impact right now is worldwide, including central Indiana. Emily Longnecker joins us live tonight at 5 from the Indiana State House. That's where flags are now lowered in honor of the victims. Emily?
Yeah, Felicia and Scott, Governor Eric Holcomb calls the violence in Indiana troubling and says Indiana stands in solidarity with the people of Israel. To that end, he has ordered the flags on all state properties to be flown at half staff, including here outside the Indiana State House, to honor the lives lost, and he's asked businesses and people to do the same.
And at the governor's mansion, you can see Governor Holcomb is now flying the Israeli flag in solidarity. In his tweets about the attacks, the governor also mourned the loss of a man who he called a friend to Indiana. That man was Ophir Libstein, who was the mayor of one of the border towns near Gaza. Libstein visited Indiana and met with the governor. These are some of the pictures from that meeting. Libstein was in town to celebrate the bar mitzvah of the son of family friends. Those friends, the Mauer family, just returned from Israel on Saturday night and told us yesterday they spent Friday with Libstein, touring the area. Saturday, when they were on the plane back to New York, they learned he'd been killed by Hamas.
He was speaking about his hope for two states, his hope for peace.
Governor Holcomb is not the only elected official here in Indiana commenting on the violence. State Senator Fadi Kadora issued a statement which read in part, "I condemn violence and the loss of innocent lives on both the Palestinian and Israeli sides and pray for immediate ceasefire, peace, and healing. As a Hoosier with family members currently living in Palestine, I understand the pain and anxiety that many Palestinian and Israeli Hoosiers are feeling."
And Senator Kadora went on to say, as a Hoosier, a civic leader, and an elected official, he will continue his efforts to build bridges of love, compassion, and collaboration between Jewish and Muslim Hoosiers. Members of both of those communities call Indiana home, and both are watching with fear and concern with their loved ones caught in the crossfire. Scott, Felicia.
Emily Longnecker at the State House for us tonight. Thanks. Israel is ramping up its military efforts in this fight, tightening the military blockade around Gaza.
This comes as both sides continue to exchange attacks. Ellison Barber reports on the buildup from Tel Aviv.
The Israeli military is building a stronger presence around the Gaza Strip. They say they have up to 35 brigades that have formed a blockade around all of the Gaza Strip. They say they are preparing and building infrastructure, seemingly in advance of some sort of ground assault. They've mobilized over 300,000 reserve soldiers and told citizens, civilians in areas near Gaza to evacuate. In places like Ashkelon and Sderot, rocket fire is constant. This is what it was like this afternoon.
Go, go, go. You go. Carol. There it is. You see? Get down. Get down. Go, 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 go. So we're inside of this shelter because of rocket fire. As soon as you hear the sirens here, you have maybe 60 seconds to get into shelter because that's how close we are to Gaza, the border. It's about 2.5 miles from here. And the second that siren, that alert goes off saying rockets are incoming, it's a sprint to a place like this because you really don't have a whole lot of time to get to safety. And as Israeli forces carry out air attacks in Gaza, they say they have now started to change their tactics, and right now they are carrying those out in waves. In overnight hours, they hit over 200 Hamas targets. They say that they did strike a mosque as well as homes. Israel claims that is because Hamas was using those civilian spaces to store weapons and also operate a command center. Within Gaza, there are some 2 million people living in this small, densely populated area. It is fully blocked. Right now, Israel has told people, civilians inside of Gaza, to evacuate, but all of the border crossings, all of the potential ways out are closed. The UN says inside of Gaza, there are
200,000 people, civilians that are displaced, and many of them right now are sheltering in schools as the death toll on both sides continues to rise. Reporting in Tel Aviv, I'm Ellison Barber, NBC News.
And we have the latest on the fighting, U.S. efforts to bring peace, and the families looking for loved ones. We put that on our website, WTHR.com, and the WTHR app.